My art, but the humanity in my audience and my own humanity. So for better or worse, that's the way we gotta play it.
Yeah. And are we on the left? I grew up on the left, Labour House. Are we on the left ready to move over to some degree and accept that we sometimes lose touch with working people who are out on the street and doing a day's job and who've been the subjects of your entire life over your years. And there's just, I just fear sometimes that we on the left have just lost a little bit of that, and that the accusations of elitism that are out there for people like me are not inaccurate, and I really think it's important. I mean, as you two, we're watching you. We've toured the world together for Amnesty International. We are comrades. We are always your students, but in our band, I want our concerts to be a place where people, can meet, and a safe place for that sacred argument. And I know that's what you've done for most of your life. So, has it cost you? Do you feel torn at all by thinking that there's people in this town that used to come and see my shows that don't now, or have you made peace with that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that, like I was just explaining, that you have to do two things. One, there's the classic folk song, which side are you on? You do have to, you make your stand and you follow your beliefs, and you have to have the faith in them that they will be explicable and understandable by your fellow citizens. And you have to believe that America is an argument and it's a compromise constantly, and that finding some sort of common ground is a possibility. You need the leaders, at the moment, I don't know, I'm not sure if I see anybody who has the capacity to come out and to speak to all the people in a way. No, I don't even really consider myself an activist. I'm sort of, I'm at best, I'm a little embarrassed to get this award tonight because I feel like at best I'm a concerned citizen, and what do? I sing my songs, I say a few things, and wish for the best, help folks out a little bit here and a little bit there, there's so many people, you're more of an activist, there's so many people that do so much more than I do.
I mentioned that we followed you pretty much everywhere, so Bruce could play an arena, you two, we must be able to play an arena. So if he plays the stadium, makes it figure out how to get intimacy with that, we must be able to figure it out, Edge. And Bruce has done it. We used to follow him around just finding out what Bruce had done. And then whatever he had accomplished, we would rob. For those operatic songs, Permission for the Opera, he's Italian, it's okay. My dad's an opera singer, I can do that. But I remember Philadelphia, because there's a combination of, I'm not letting you away with the cinematic thing. I thought I found a fresh metaphor there. Tom Hanks gets an Oscar for playing HIV/AIDS sufferer who loses his life, and you get an Oscar for riding the streets of Philadelphia. You were an AIDS activist years before I was, just want to say, and I don't say that easily.
of a fluke, you know. It really was, because Jonathan Demme called me up and said, I need a rock song for the movie I just made. And he told me a little bit about the film, and he sent me just the opening 2 minutes or so of it, you know. I tried to write him a rock song, and I just couldn't. So I went next door, and I had a little synthesizer and a little drum machine, and in a couple of days I wrote the song. I didn't know if he'd like it or not. I sent it to him, and he roughed it into the film, and then I sent him a real version, and he threw that out and kept the rough version that I sent him, and then we won the Oscar, you know. So it was really, you know, one of those things. Well, you know, people say, if you do good things happen. So Jonathan Demme, who is deeply missed and was a wonderful, wonderful man, an incredible filmmaker, you know, and kind of invited me into his film, and I guess we lucked out, you know. But
was it your first time to do a drum machine, or did you use that on Tongue of Love?
Yeah,
I remember thinking Bruce is he's going to become an electronic artist. That's interesting, I think.
You know, yeah.
And then you just more soulfulness next to that machine than, you know, anyone.
Yeah, well, thanks. But it was, you know, it was, you know, movies were so influential for most of my music since I was probably in my mid and late 20s. I really got into film, and it affected everything I wrote after that. You know, that and reading, you know, the huge fan of the film noir, you know, Out of the Past, Double Indemnity, Gun Crazy, all of those things. And Bob's work, of course, you know, Bob's work was, if you were a young man in the mid and late 70s, you know, Bob De Niro was and is. He's still one of my great heroes. The existential angst, and, you know, the classic he projected the character of America that is existential and isolationist, and in a way that really was just unique in cinema, and is just something. You know, Bobby's here, and I love him very much, and he remains one of my all-time favorite actors. You know.
Bloody Italians.
Yeah, me and my wife were Sicilian Irish, so you gotta watch out.
Bob's got a string in there too. We claim everything. It's just the Irish are not just like that. It's like, yeah, we invented whiskey as well. Yeah. Yeah, the thing of culture being upstream of politics. This is the thing that you don't want it to be true if you're a person elected to high office. But the truth of it is some songs manage to change not just the room that they're recorded in, or the radios, or the whatever it is, the streamers they're on, but they can change the atmosphere of a time. And I think in the United States, I was thinking about John Fogerty's work during the Vietnam War, thinking about, you know, Marvin Gaye, or thinking about, you know, these astonishing talents that seem to change things. And I think it's even more extraordinary that you cannot write to order, clearly, and that you've never been a signer. You're not a person who will, because I've often tried to get you to sign things, and by signing things I don't mean autographs, I mean petitions, and that if you're involved, you're really involved, and it sort of has to seize you, means to take you, and you do your work within community, but you don't sign up easily. So for you to go on the road with your extraordinary band and leave your family as you have done, we know how serious you feel what you're feeling for your country right now, and we are so grateful that somebody has that
I always work from the inside out, you know, so you're sitting around and I'm just pissed off, you know, and angry, but for the past 50 years I've put together a band that was built for hard times, you know, and built for times like these, and I've put together a body of work that was built for hard times and built for times like these, and I was always sort of singing for the moment and singing towards the moment. I was interested in artists who encapsulated their moment in time. It was what I tried to do with my work, which was basically the second half of the 20th century, the beginning of the 21st, which involved the post-industrialization of America, affected so many people, and so many people did get left behind. But I don't conceive something and then, you know, even the writing, the subjects I picked up as what I felt like my subjects, which was like blue collar life, or I wrote just because it was my family's life, and I was interested just for my own psychological health, in sorting out their lives, what were the forces that played in their lives. And if you do that long enough, you know, you pray that you have a little impact on the culture, because as you were saying, you know, art has the chance to shape culture, culture shapes politics, culture and politics shape the nation, and that's the business we're in. You know, that's at the bottom, at the end of the day, that, you know, that is the business that we're in.
And you do love a pop song too. I just, you know, that's what's so great, is that you took your hero, Woody Guthrie, and got that sensibility onto, you know, pop radio. I remember, it's an amazing thing to realize that you've written some great pop songs as well as some great punk songs, protest songs. I tried to get you to give for a Gap commercial, because they were supporting Red, our AIDS emergency thing, and I said, Bruce, this song, Girls in Their Summer Clothes, this is like one of the great pop songs ever. He goes, it's not bad, is it? I said, would you think about using it for a commercial, like for Red through Gap? He said, no.
And that was a big mistake too, because I should have said yes. You know, because it's one of the songs. You know, you have these songs that they just become your own